Hello guys, and welcome back into the gaming cupboard with a pickups video. And it's been so long since I've been able to do those words. Kind of this time last year, pickup videos will be once a week thing when you go to the car boot sales, but I think hopefully we're now kind of over the worst, coming to the end of COVID. The shops are starting to open up again. I don't think the boot sales are going to be what they once were. How you're going to try and get social distancing sorted at a car boot sale, I do not know, but I've managed to pick up some fantastic things over the lockdown period, over a period of a number of weeks, and yeah, I've got a good few things here now for a pickups video, which is fantastic. So thanks all for coming back. I'm hoping that everyone is doing well and that you're all staying safe. And it's been really cool to see kind of what things you picked up in lockdown, as well as all the kind of new things out there, and just the community spirit has just shone through this horrible situation that we've all been a part of, and met some fantastic people like along the way through kind of Dana's, Raz's streams and things like that, and you know, people coming in and joining in the chat in the podcast, which go out on a Sunday. It's just been absolutely brilliant, and the amount of entertainment that's been there, I haven't been able to keep up with videos. So if you've done videos and I haven't got to watch them, I apologise. I will get to them hopefully at some point. I'm trying this thing at the moment where I will watch them, but then I'll get so far and I'll forget what I've watched and have to go back to the start again, which is just an absolute pain. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's done the content, and thank you to, you know, everyone I've spoken to, interacted with through this period. It's just been great. Without you guys, I'm sure I would have lost the plot more than some time ago. But yeah, we'll get on with the pickups shortly. To address the game in the background before we do that, it is the fantastic Oddworld Abe's Exodus, and yeah, it came in my top 5 nostalgic PlayStation 1 games. But what a fantastic game it was, and after kind of picking it up and showing it, I'm like, I'm gonna have to keep this one out and give it a play, because it's been so long since I've actually played it. Though really love the Oddworld games, and recommend you give them a go if you have the opportunity to do so. I don't think it's very expensive. I think you're probably looking about, what, 20 quid? I think maybe even 30 quid now. I don't know. I got mine some time ago, but just so worth playing, and I hope you will take my recommendation on that. So yeah, what have we picked up? What have we got? What are we going on about? Because it's been some time since I've done a pickups video, so I'm really glad of this. And I've just balanced all these things very precariously, so they're all going to fall on the floor. But yeah, I've got, how many games have I got here? 7, 8 games, and a couple of other things to show you as well. So very happy to have these. So we'll do these first. I picked up some Wii games. Now I picked these up because I saw them on a Facebook listing, and there's a Facebook listing near kind of where my mother-in-law lives, so about an hour's drive away from me, but in the same place she is, and the person wanted like 50p each for them. And I looked at them, I thought, well, there's definitely a couple of games in there I want, and this one is too good just to leave behind, or I have already got it. So I got 3 games, 150, you know, paid them in cash, they dropped them off, took the money, happy days. And I've just recently been able to get them off her, so thank you very much for picking them up for me. Now, the games in question, just a couple of fun games here really, which I'm really glad to have. We have got the first one, Ready to Rumble Revolution, not Resolution, that comes after Christmas, on the Wii. Now, the Ready to Rumble games I know from the Dreamcast. They did come out, I think, on the PlayStation 2 as well, I think, around the time, but I've never seen this one, and I mean, I don't even know what to think of it, to be honest. It looks so bizarre. I mean, is that Simon Cowell up there? God knows. Is that Jimmy Cranky? Could be. No, Jimmy Cranky didn't have a beard. I don't know what to make of it, but for 50p, yeah, I just couldn't pass it off. Siphon Cruel, that's what that one's called. Just in line with, is that going to focus? No, they never focus when you want them to, these bloody cameras. In line with the kind of, you know, Ready to Rumble thing, I've got to pick this up and have a go. And I've got the boxing gloves to the Wii, so why not? So it is complete with a manual. It is a little bit tatty, but for 50p, I'm not going to complain. Happily go into the collection, go on the shelf until I get time to actually play it. And the next one I picked up, now really happy to get this because this will go into my trade pile, go into something that I want from CEX, and it is House of the Dead Overkill. Now I've got the special edition of this one sent to me by Willie Weevil earlier this year. He's an absolute lad, brilliant, and you know, there's so many good light gun games on the Wii that are overlooked, and everyone kind of goes on about the Wii remote, how they think it's rubbish. If you've got a light gun game on a console here, you're laughing. I mean, like, everyone says about the Wii remote, but I don't know of another current console where you can do light gun. I don't know, maybe they have kind of add-ons for other systems, but it's just something in the home console that I think is just dying out. So fantastic game to pick up. 50p, can't pass that one up. And then the last game I've got, like, I don't even know what to make of this. I think it's an RPG kind of game. It looks friggin' bizarre, but I think CEX have it for a tenner. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but it looks totally bonkers. It is Opuna on the Wii, or Opuna, I don't know. You tell me, how do I pronunciate it? How do I pronunciate the word? Jesus Christ. Join Opuna on the journey across the distant cosmos. Pursue different jobs such as ranger, star, or detective in this role-playing adventure. There we go. So that is what the back looks like. And it is complete game and manual in there, so all nice and complete. I think this is a £10 game as far as CEX sell it, so pick up 50p. Happy days. Happy to have that in the collection. Next one I picked up a point and click game on the PC. Now this is really cool, and most people won't have even heard of this series, but if you don't know from my previous videos, I really like point and click games, and this is one by AdventureSoft. Now AdventureSoft are known for Simon the Sorcerer games. So Simon the Sorcerer, I think, came out on the Amiga. I'm pretty sure it's on the Amiga CD32 as well. It's definitely on the PC where I first played it, but nobody knows of this one. So, and yeah, Simon the Sorcerer had Chris Barry do the voice, certainly in the first game. This one, the same maker, is The Feeble Files, and I think this had Robert Llewellyn do the voice of the main character on this one. So yeah, big box game. I think this came for about £6 delivered, and that's not bad at all. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the instructions, but it is a 4-disc game. 4 discs are here, nice and complete. And yeah, in a big box case, so very happy to have this one in for my collection, because I haven't got enough big box PC games, and let's face it, they're becoming more and more expensive. I would love to get the Simon the Sorcerer big box games in my collection, but at the moment I just kind of keep missing them if they come up on eBay. I've missed them out a couple of times. I don't think they're very expensive. They're kind of about a tenner each, but the higher bracket they're going for about £20 each, so I'm not going to pay that at the moment. Like, if I can get them for like under a tenner each, which I think is probably about the going rate, I'm happy with that. And there's later Simon the Sorcerer games as well. I think there was the 3D one is absolute arse. If you've heard of it, don't play it. It's terrible. It's broken. They spent too long making it and then released a broken game, which is dreadful. And then I think it went on to a German company who did 4, and I think there's even a 5th one as well. Whether they've been translated to English, I don't know, but just a sad end to what was a fantastic like franchise in that. So yeah, very happy to have the Feeble Files either way. Then we've got some Sega Saturn stuff. Really happy to have these. And yeah, I picked these up, and then I saw them in Scott Sega Zombies video. Well, I've seen them in a couple of people's videos actually. And I looked at them and I thought, got to pick those games up. They're games that I really want to kind of play and get that arcade experience, which the Saturn is so synonymous for. Just a fantastic console for that. So the first one, actually, I saw in Game Zone Birdroom's video. He did a review of this, and this is Manx TT on the Sega Saturn. Now this copy is in a lovely condition. This came from eBay. I think I've effectively paid about what the CEX rate would be, because at the moment there's so much stock in CEX, but it's at stores that are just closed, so you can't get it. it is complete, the game and manual in there, and the game is staying in of its own accord, and there's even a bit of bubble wrap there to kind of protect the disc from the manual. Not that you should lay it down anyway, so the manual crushes the disc, but yeah, it doesn't hold anymore as well, which, well, it's not bad. It's not falling apart like some Saturn games are. But yeah, really cool. Had a good few goes on this. I think I got first once. Really hard to do. You make any kind of mistake, you go off the kind of track onto the gravel, something like that, the team will just fly past you, or the other racers will just fly past you. So you've really got to kind of up your game for it. And yeah, that's on just the original circuit. The TT circuit, just so much harder, but a brilliant arcade conversion. An AM2 one, I think. Is it AM2? I think it's AM2. I might be making that up, but really enjoyed it on the Saturn. So thank you very much for the recommend on that one. And the next one I bought from CEX and just broke. Now this one was in a local CEX to me, and before lockdown there was a load of Saturn games went into this CEX, and I wanted to get some of them. I think I went in just before kind of everything kind of went lockdown, all the stores shut and everything, and I bought a couple with the intention of going back and getting some more. And since then, the kind of CX has been pillaged for the Saturn games. They've all just been bought, all shipped out, which is a shame, because I'd intended to kind of go back and get something, because the ones I got from there in my last kind of pickups video were just in really nice condition. And unfortunately, it's kind of pot luck with CEX, because unless it's the last one in stock and you know it's that store that's selling it, because some are still staying online, some aren't, so you kind of have to work out which ones are still selling so you know where it's going to come from, or certainly if you want this one. So if you see the one in your store and 2 others, and there's a list of 5 of them, you know that 2 of those stores are shut and your one's probably open. So I took a punt on this one to see if I'd actually get it, and it came through, and it's in pretty decent condition overall, so I'm happy with it. The game in question's Fighting Vipers on a Sega Saturn. Now it does have a bit of wear. You'll see here it's kind of a bit ripped up there, which is just the way Saturn games go in these power cases. They don't hold up, but you can see that this has been kept somewhere in really good order, because it's still, the box still holds together really nicely, and you still have a little bit of kind of effort to open it. So yeah, whether this has been in somebody's loft for some time, whether or not they just didn't like it, I don't know, but the manual is in there. It is nice and minty. The game, the disc on that didn't look like it had been played. I mean, it's got a couple of like just marks on the disc, but they just look like water droplets, to be fair, or just when a STD's stored like somewhere. I think it's probably been in a loft for some time and then just brought down and sold or traded in. But yeah, Fighting Vipers. This is an AM2 game. Maybe that's where I got it from. I don't know. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this one. I think I completed it on my first playthrough. It's not the most technical fighter, but it does have kind of the whole ring out thing. And the difference in this one to other fighters is you have kind of armor on the top half and the bottom half of your body. And through the blows that you trade with your opponents, you can kind of knock off their armor. They can do the same to you. If you get them to kind of the edge of the ring, you can just smash them through kind of the railings or the windows or whatever's there. A lot of fun. I love the brawlers on this. It is very much kind of up my street, and it's like that kind of Tekken style. I was never much good at the 2D fighters. I want to get better at them, but I really enjoyed this one. So yeah, that is my second pickup. I'm very happy to have that. Now, my third and fourth Saturn games. I've got some Japanese games, guys. I mean, I've been talking about doing this for some time. Like, Dylan's always telling me, Dylan Hyper Trigger X, that I need to get some Japanese games. And I've thought about it, and there's some that I definitely wanted, and I've finally just kind of bitten the bullet and gone for it. So, we've got a couple to show you on this pickups. Now, the first one out of them is a game that we're talking about. I think I was talking about it with Rob in one of the podcasts a few weeks ago, Ganadinia Plays, and he was saying about this one. In the arcade, and I looked at it and just thought it looked fantastic. I've got to have it, and so I picked up a copy of Gale Racer, which is still in its little plastic sleeve there. Brilliant game. I really love it. It is such an arcade-like style game, and they've done a pretty good port of it as well. I think the only thing that I found a bit off was when the track tilts. You can kind of see the sections of track kind of split up. Whether or not that's just me, I don't know, but that kind of was the only thing that I didn't like about it. The racer itself is really hard, and yeah, I really enjoyed it though. And for my first Japanese game, really great one to have. And I think after I've got this, I've seen that Sega Zombie put it in one of his videos about his Japanese games and how brilliant it is. And yeah, I think you are right, mate. I think this is the first arcade game that has Sonic in it. Whether it's the first one on the Saturn with Sonic in it, I do not know, whether it's released beforehand. But yeah, fantastic game. Not an expensive one, but a lot of fun and definitely worth picking up. Now the next one I went for, when I was saying I'm not very good at 2D fighters, but I want to get better, like these ones look absolutely stunning, and the ones on the Saturn look absolutely stunning. So if you're going to get a game like there's a 2D fighter, pick up some of these Japanese ones on the Saturn, because you won't be disappointed. And the first one I picked up was Vampire Hunter. And yeah, the graphics on this one, absolutely beautiful. I don't know any of the moves. I struggled to get past the first opponent, but it is fantastic. The case, unfortunately, I had it all of about 30 seconds out of the box. It came in this really nice like DVD box that you post through the letterbox. It came wrapped so tight in bubble wrap, and I put it on the side and then just knocked it off, and it's broken the edge off the case. So yeah, it's mint for all of about 10 seconds before I had it. But it's got the spine card in there, it's got the manual, it's got the game, and again it's got some bubble wrap in there to hold the game in place so it doesn't get kind of damaged in any way. But yeah, fantastic game. Really enjoyed this one. I think Vampire Savior is a sequel, which I'll be looking at getting in the future. But yeah, brilliant game. I think it only goes for about a tenner. It's not an expensive game, but definitely one that you should pick up, and you know, get the action replay cart so you can play the Japanese games, so you can experience these. And I don't think you need any kind of RAM cart for the more like graphic heavy games. If you have that either, that'll all be in, like within that RAM card, so it's a must if you have a Sega Saturn. Now, that is all the games that I picked up. So, you know, modest bundle for the month, I think. Not too bad at all. But I have picked up another couple of peripherals as well, which I'll show you. So the first one, I was talking about this with Retro48K Chris, and I think he picked one of these up, and I looked at it and thought, yeah, I really want to get one of those. And I want to get one of those so I can play using multiple systems as well. And yeah, when I finally got one, because they sold out of these on Amazon, and I was waiting blinking ages for them to come back into stock. And it's just typical when I look at something, they either put the price up or they go out of stock. But what I got was the Sega Saturn Bluetooth wireless anyway, wireless controller in this lovely blue colour. They do another one, it's kind of dark green and it has pink and yellow buttons, and it's not bad by any means, but I just think this one looks much nicer and sleeker. Out of the two, I'd much rather have this one. I think this one sells better as well. But yeah, it's a licensed wireless controller, so it proper looks the part, it feels the part as well. And I'll just take the box out, so that's a box to show you. But when you open it, you get this really nice hard case. It's got like a little plastic protective film over it. But you open it up, and you've got in there the controller. You've got like a dongle here for if you want to use it in USB, and you've got one there to use in the Saturn as well. And yeah, I had so much kind of kerfuffle setting this up that I had to message Chris, who kindly helped talk me through it, because he had some problems with his. Take it out of the case. So Chris had problems with the C button sticking, because it just, I think the hole is so precise that the little guide that is on the button, if you push it too hard, it will just pop out of the hole and stick. He asked me if I had that kind of problem with mine, and to be honest, yeah, a couple of times it has got stuck on me, unfortunately, which is a bit like frantic when you're playing Bomberman, because that's the bomb button for it. So yeah, a couple of times it has got stuck in there on the C button. I think he filed it down slightly on the guides, so that it actually like slipped in and didn't get stuck at the top. Mine doesn't stick too badly at all, really. It's only on the odd occasion. It's not very often, so I don't think I'll be doing anything to kind of send it back to him or fix it. I think it's just when you play it over time, it'll wear in anyway. But yeah, that's that. And yeah, thank you very much to Chris, because you can update the firmware on the USB and the other dongle for the Saturn. So you've got these two little dongles here, and you have to update the firmware individually. You plug them in, or you plug this one just in USB, hold down the button while you do it, and it'll detect it rather than as a USB kind of controller. It'll detect it as an item that needs updating. And yeah, you have to download the firmware from the website, and it will have an installer to just install it on the device. So that one I don't think was too bad to update. This one you have to plug a little adapter in the side there and plug that into the USB, and somehow I put this into update mode so it wouldn't recognize it on the Saturn, and it would only recognize it once I updated it. So that had a different software in itself to do, and thank you very much to Chris for helping talk me through that, because I was really kind of struggling to figure out what the hell I was doing. It's not that complicated in the end, but when you were new and you're trying to figure out what needs to happen with this, I was just a bit perplexed. But the system itself, you just plug in the to the Saturn, you just plug in this, and this will sync with the system. And for this, you just press the start button a couple of times and it'll flash red, and when it flashes red, then you know that it's synced to the system and you can just play on quite happily as is. But yeah, update the firmware on there as soon as you get it. But yeah, that's that. Really nice little case. I don't think that was very much. I think that was about 30 odd quid. So not very much considering what you'd pay for a Saturn controller anyway. It's wireless as well, so you can use it with USBs. So I think you can use it with kind of the mini systems as well, should you want to. But yeah, very happy with that. Saturn controllers, just love them. And then the last thing, we're on the last thing finally. The last thing I picked up, I was saying that I wanted to pick up system, and this year I wanted to play more kind of Japanese games or have the ability to do so. So I wanted to pick up a system that would enable me to do that, and what I decided to pick up was this. It is the Retro Freak. And yes, although strictly not a system in itself, it is an emulating system. It will allow you to play, I think, 12 systems in one, I think it says. It says on the front here, so NES with a little adapter, Famicom, Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, Genesis, Mega Drive, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, TurboGrafx 16, PC Engine, and PC Engine Super Graphics card. Yeah, really nice little system. They have gone up massively, I think, from what they cost originally, or like even it's either that or second hand they cost the same price as they were originally. This one unfortunately doesn't come with the extra adapter. You can get one which has an adapter so you can plug the original controls in the system. That really doesn't bother me because it comes with a pad anyway, which is just like a SNES pad, and because I've got this, I can use this as a USB controller if I want to. So I've got kind of all the extra buttons on that should I be so inclined if I want to wirelessly. But yeah, I will probably do, maybe eventually, like if people want to see it, I might do kind of an unboxing, a kind of a little review on this system. There are plenty online, and yeah, I have had it out, had a good old play on it just to test it out. I did, and a word of caution, if you have got one, it will only read up to 32 gigabyte on a micro SD card. So on the system itself, what you've got, I'll show you on the side here actually. So what's actually in the contents of the box. So you've got the controller, which is there, the card reader for NES cartridges, that's the power, that's the HDMI, so I'm doing this back to front, power cable there, that is the controller, and the card, this over here, the main part of the system, is just a cartridge reader. The actual like system itself is this. So just this tiny little USB like block. So when you've actually loaded your games to it, because you can put your games into a slot, install it to either the internal memory or the micro SD card, and then you can just take the actual console part out of the back, just take it to people's and play, and it'll have 2 USB ports to do it. So a fab little system, a quality little clone system. And you know, I haven't got kind of the space to buy all the individual systems, though I really want to buy some. This kind of meets me halfway in the sense that I can still plug in and play games from cartridge, but it emulates as well. I will be looking at kind of other systems, you know, in the future, in the intent to like, you know, buy and play some of these games. But that covers the fact that I can now play some Japanese cartridges as well, because I don't want all my games to necessarily just be sometimes emulation. I want to be able to buy some as well, and that will allow me to kind of get and play some of these games as well. So that is my pickups from this last month. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and it's been really awesome to see what you guys have picked up. And yeah, stay safe everyone. Now before I go, because I nearly forgot, I do need to do some shout outs, because this community spirit that's been going since lockdown has been brilliant. There's been some people who've like now started coming along and making channels, which is great, because you know that we need more people in this community. It's so welcoming, and just having more people on board is brilliant. So a shout out to some of those new channels who've started out, or like I've come to meet through actual lockdown, through the videos people have had, and shout outs to other people. So first up, we've got Schmuck Pilot 79, Dave, a new channel in the community. He's been on Dana's streams, like I think from really early on. Really nice guy, and just some quality videos. He's just started out on YouTube in the last couple of months since lockdown. So go over, check him out, give him some love, because you know we want to be this like community that welcomes everybody into it, and it's just really nice that we have that going on with us. So yep, go and check out Schmuck Pilot 79. Next up we have Steve Cooper's World. Now Steve has been in all the kind of TMB like live podcast videos that come out on a Sunday. A really nice guy. He started doing videos himself now, which is great. He said that he used to do videos in the past and kind of stopped because he lost his game room, and now building up his own game room collection. He's come on Dana's stream, did a fantastic job of it. He's up for YouTuber of the Month. Rob put him forward for YouTuber of the Month, and very much deserving. So yeah, go and show Steve some love. Fantastic guy. And the last shout out I'm going to give is to a channel. I'm not quite sure how long it's been going, but I've spoken to Ross of Xbox 360 Collector the other day. And yeah, really nice guy. He's got so many quality games behind him. I haven't seen as many of your videos, Ross. I need to kind of come over and watch your channel, but it was really nice speaking to you the other night and catching up. And that's what this is all about, is just networking, meeting people who have a similar kind of love of games in the community. So there's 3 channels for you to go out and check. I'll put, if I remember, links in the description so you can go over it and check them out and give them some love. But yeah, that is it guys, with my shout outs as well, which I nearly forgot. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. So take care everyone, and bye bye for now.